Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm answering to all of your questions. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to all the people who actually downloaded my book. I really hope this book is beneficial for you and it's helpful, and may it bring a lot of knowledge to you and to your practice. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who's watching my channel. Thank you for your support, and to all the people who actually downloaded my book. Now, if you have some spare time, I really would appreciate if you could actually write a positive review on Amazon. That will mean a lot to me, and thank you so much, honestly. So let's go and answer all of your questions. If I'm pronouncing your name not correctly, I apologize in advance. So Vasiliki is asking, for a professional reading, if a querent has a question for a love issue and another one for work and another one for another issue, do you do different spreads for each question? And which spreads do you prefer? For example, do you prefer the Celtic Cross or the 3-card spread or other? So for this question, I will say that if a querent have a lot of questions, first of all, I'm going to do a spread for the relationship issue. If he has another question, I'm going to do another spread for work or career, and another spread if it's some other question. I'm not combining all of this because relationship, career and work and other questions are actually different. The only way when you can actually mix everything is when you're doing the Lenormand Grand Tableau. There you can actually answer to a lot of questions. But in tarot it's a bit different. I will do specific spread to every specific question. And the more we are going to be more specific, the better the results will be. And for the continue of the question, which spreads do you prefer? For example, do you prefer the Celtic Cross or the 3-card spread or other? I actually have to every question that the querent is asking, I have a specific spread for that. So I'm not taking some question and just doing a general Celtic Cross, because it will not give me the answers. I'm a person who really dissects everything. I go deeply and I like to be very specific. It makes the work very easier for me and for the querent. So the Celtic Cross is very general. It's not a very specific spread. And the 3-card spread is also very general. It depends, because I can do a daily spread for myself with 3 cards, or we can have 3 cards in a bigger spread. So I'm using very specific spreads, and I will write a book about all of those spreads. So let's go to the next question. Freya S. is asking, if our intuition does not fit with the meaning of a card in a reading, how will I interpret it? According to the traditional card meaning or our intuition? So to this question, I will say that if I have some intuition that is coming to the surface, I will say my intuition, but I also will say the classical card interpretation. I want to give the querent both of the answers. And when you're doing that, you're talking to the querent, and then you can see where the intuition is going and where the card meaning is going. It doesn't have to be, either black or white. It always have to be like in between, and you can give the person all the information that is coming to the surface. You really should tell the intuition, you really should explain the querent what do you feel about it, what is coming to the surface, and of course also the classic traditional card meaning. So Freya also asking, does it happen to ask in a reading for a love issue, for example, and the cards to drive us to another field of the querent's life, or we stick to the question and try to interpret the cards that we get? only for the love issue, if the question was for love. This question is for Tarot and Lenormand as well. So again, in this question, I will always try to be very, very specific. So if I'm doing a love reading, everything in the cards will be about the love reading. Even if we're getting coins or swords, all of that have to do with the love reading, with the relationship. Yes, there are some spreads when you're doing some general spreads that it can, take you to a different field, for instance, with the Celtic Cross or other spreads, but it really makes the work a bit harder and difficult because it's like you have too much possibilities and you don't know where the direction is going. So I will always try to be very specific, very, very specific. If the querent is asking about love and relationship, so we're going to answer, the cards will show everything that have to do with love and relationship. Because career, money, work is a different subject. It's something else. Of course, there can be, other situations that are popping up in this love and relationship reading. Maybe the person is sick or have some psychological issues, but it all will be, connected with the love and relationship. And another question, how soon we can ask the cards for the same question? I heard after 21 days, do you agree with it? So, me, I don't care about any rules, and if you want to ask the same question over and over again, you can do it as much as you want. But usually the first thing that the cards are showing to you, this is how it's supposed to be. This is your answer. You can ask how many times you want. And all of that 21 days or 7 days, for me, it's all bullshit. I don't believe in that. So let's go to different questions. Feng Stewart is asking, what is your opinion about huge decks? And I understand from that it's a big deck. So personally, I don't like big decks. I don't like huge decks because you don't have any space on the table. I always prefer small decks, especially in tarot, because you need space, and big decks are really good if you're teaching, if you are showing some information. Other than that, I don't like big decks. So another question that Feng is asking, is there a spread to find lost objects, to find out who stole something? Yes, of course. There is a specific spread to see lost objects, and there is a specific spread to find if someone actually stole something from you. And if you want to know if someone actually stole something from you, you can just do a very easy spread of yes or no. And the cards will show to you whether that person stole or not. But still, I will do more specific and more complex spread for that. Again, all of those spreads will be in my book or in my course, and you will have all of that information. Also, Feng is asking, is there a way to know if a missing person is still alive or in approximation to its location? Yes, there is a specific spread to actually know if the person is alive or dead. It's a very common question, nothing wrong about that. There is a specific spread. Again, all of that will be in my future works. Let's go to another question. Mel B is asking, I've seen many readers on YouTube have a ritual or routine that they do before they read the cards, like prayers and sage, singing bowls, etc. Is this necessary? And if so, what is your routine of how you prepare yourself for a reading? It is very, very personal, and everyone can do what suits them. You don't need to follow what someone told you. This is the biggest mistake. If someone told you that you have to light sage, this is automatically a mistake. You need to feel with yourself. Do you want to light sage? Do you want to light a candle? Or you don't want to do anything? For me personally, I just light a candle. I don't need anything else. I just don't need it. If you're working with some spirits or some deities with your work, so you just need to give some offering or like whatever you're doing. I mean, this is very personal. It depends in what tradition you are, what is comfortable for you, whether you're a Christian reader, whether you're a pagan reader, or you just, don't use any of those traditions. You just need to feel for yourself what is the best for you, what can actually makes you to tune in with your intuition. It is very personal, so don't let anyone to tell you, you have to do that or this or whatever. Again, for me, I only light a candle and basically that's it. And I work with spirits and deities, so this is a very personal work. But for myself, if I read for myself, I don't do anything. I'm just reading cards on my bed. That's it. So let's go to another question. David Ryan is asking, what spreads do you use in your readings? Do you use any non-standard spreads? Celtic Cross, etc. Again, I use my personal, very, very specific spreads. I have a lot of spreads, like hundreds of spreads, and I'm going to be very, very specific. I have like a construct of all the questions that the person can ask you, and I have like the answer for that. The spread that will actually give a specific answer. I never use general spreads. I never use Celtic Cross just because. I mean, I'm very, very specific. So let's go to the next question. Abby Peters is asking, where are you from? Been trying to place your accent for ages. So I'm from Israel. And also, do you have patron deities? If so, who? Yes, I do have. They are actually listed in the dedication page on my book. Do you do witchcraft? If so, how do you like to use it? I'm actually not really sitting all day long and doing witchcraft. I understand witchcraft, but I'm not really using it. I'm more on the spiritual side of things. I feel that I can solve my life problems without witchcraft, for now. But if I will get to the position that I need to use witchcraft, I will do it hardcore. I have all the books, I have all the knowledge, I have all the information, but I just don't need to sit all day, and do that. So Abby also asking, how did you get into the world of spirituality and tarot? So actually, I came to the world of spirituality and tarot due to harsh abuse and trauma from my childhood. So this is the main thing that actually saved me. This is the main thing that helped me to overcome my trauma, my abuse, my pain from the past. It really, really helped me. And this is how I use my spirituality, for helping me to transform myself. I don't use it just because I need to do some witchcraft so I will get some, mundane things like money or something like that. I actually use it for very, very high spirituality. And I was introduced to witchcraft from a very, very young age, since I was 3, 4, 5, I was very young. And it was in my life for a lot of years, but afterwards, when the trauma really hit me, 10 years ago, when I had to deal with all of that crap, so this is where I really got very deep into all of that occultism, esoteric knowledge, and all of that stuff, and tarot also. How do you maintain your minimalism with spirituality and witchcraft? Do you have any advice for others? So this is very easy. I just use the things that I need to use. I don't buy anything. I have a lot of tarot cards that I feel that I don't need, but I will go to one tradition and stick to that. If you're using, for instance, Rider-Waite-Smith deck, I will stick to that. I will not buy other decks. And maybe a few, but you don't need like a lot of them. And I try to keep everything very minimalistic. I hate clutter. I don't buy thousands of herbs. I used to do that. It hurt me. I don't need it. And basically that's it. Just eliminate everything that you do not use. If you did not use that item for 1 year, you don't need it at all, believe me. Also, Abby Peters is asking, to add into the deity question, how do you believe in the nature of a deity? Personified or as a spirit? I think a deity is a mathematical construct. It's not something that can be personified. I mean, it's easy for our consciousness to actually think that this deity is like us, but it's not. But it's okay, because this is easier for us to perceive it. It is a program. A deity for me, it's a specific program. So let's go to another question. Kathy Kerr is asking, will you share about your marriage? How did you and your husband meet? So I don't really want to share a lot. How we met, we actually used to live in the same neighborhood, like thousands of years ago. How long have you been married? So we're actually together for 14 years, but we are married for 4 years. Is he into the divination tools also? If not, does he share opinions on them? So he's not into divination, he's not into occult, he has his own thing. He doesn't really care about that. He knows like what I'm doing, he knows that it exists, he knows that it's accurate and powerful, but other than that, he's not into that. Do you do readings with him regarding your decisions together in your marriage? Not really, but we are doing, like, if he has some trouble at work, yes, I will do a reading for him, like for the situation, and it's always accurate. What else would you share about your relationship? Honestly, not much. We're just a regular couple that is also, we used to work together, we are working together because, you know, I'm an artist also. So he's doing the music, I'm doing the writing and the singing. And basically that's it. But now we're not working together. I mean, we're not working on music right now. He has his own job, his own work and career, and I have my own thing. And basically that's it. So let's go to the next question. Arunima Saha is asking, since when have you started doing tarot card readings and fortune telling? So I actually started with tarot cards a decade ago, but I was introduced to playing cards from a very early age. I used to watch that. It was something that my grandmother did. But me, I'm like something like 10 years ago. So let's go to the next question. Hammer and Tongs is asking, when is the Lenormand book you promised coming out? So first of all, I want to focus on my course, on my online course. Then I want to do the book about all the spreads in the world. And then Lenormand will arrive. I actually wrote the Lenormand book, but it's not finished. But I cannot like jump into things. I want to finish what I have now, and that's it. So basically that's it. Those all of your questions. I hope I did not really forget anyone. So if I forgot, you can ask the question down below and I will answer to you. And basically that's it. Thank you for watching and follow me on Instagram on magicalkey666. Also, again, I want to remind you, if you downloaded my book, please write a review on Amazon. I will really, really appreciate that. And thank you for watching and see you in my next video.